Hey guys, Mark here, and we're walking through the book of James. This week we're going to go from verse 1 to verse 18, and we're just going to take a few minutes today, read a few verses, and chat on it. Now, a couple things we need to know is, and we'll talk through them as we go, but James was a pastor to Jewish house churches. So these aren't big giant churches like you may go to. These are little churches of 20, 30 people. You got rich people and poor people, which gets important later. And he's pouring into people who are really the children of the persecution. So when the people started sharing in Acts chapter 2, and everybody came against him and said, you can't be a Christian anymore, everybody started running, those people's kids are these guys, right? And even some of them are older, but this is like, I think 30, 40 years after the persecution, if I'm not mixed up on it. But so let's read through a little bit of how he loved on people who'd been through that and have that in their past. Verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes in the dispersion. Remember the Jews back in the Old Testament, they were in 12 tribes. So he's writing to Jews. Most of the books you read in the New Testament is Paul writing to Gentiles who are believers, right? And that's us. We are the Gentiles, if you're not Jewish. So what stands out about this first verse, I read past this forever and didn't really see it. And it's really important. So we're going to stop on this first verse. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ. And why that matters, it's in every one of the letters. It all starts off with Paul, a servant of God. Paul, an apostle. James. So they're all telling you who they are. And why that matters is it's important to know who you are. You know, I think a lot of times in our culture where we live, I think we feel that we're nobody until somebody tells us that we're somebody. We don't really feel like we're somebody until, I don't know, some talent emerges out of us and we find out that I've got a thing that I do. I'm artistic, or I'm good in front of crowds, or I'm musical, or I'm this or that. And I think until a coach tells us that we're a superstar, until a teacher tells us that we're extra smart, until a boy or a girl tells us that we're desirable, we don't really feel like we are somebody. We're waiting on somebody else to tell us. And the problem with waiting on someone else and something else to make you somebody is that person and that thing could go away one day. So what makes you you has got to be more than something you can do or somebody that's around you. And I learned that the hard way. As a young person, I built my life around a girl in a dating relationship, and when I was dumped, I felt like I was nobody again. I remember being a believer and wanting to sing. I thought, I'm a singer, and God's going to use that. And I got sick in Bible college, and I lost my voice for about a month or so and had to go on vocal rest. And the whole time I'm in Bible college, I'm like, Lord, I can't serve you without my voice because I'm a singer. This is what I do. And I think what God started showing me is, no, that is not who you are. You're a singer. You're not a singer. You're a believer. You're a follower of Christ who sings. Singing can be taken away, right? But you're mine and you belong to me and you have value to me. This is just stuff you do, all right? So the way I need to start looking at my life then is not, I'm a baseball player who's a believer. No, because an injury or something can happen and you're not a baseball player anymore. So no, I've got to look at it from the point of what can't be taken away. So that baseball player needs to say, I'm a follower of Christ who plays baseball. I'm a follower of Christ who paints. I'm a follower of Christ who sings. That stuff can come and go, but what makes me who I am is who made me who I am. Yeah? It seems like such a silly thing until what you've built your world around gets taken away from you. Then we feel like the whole earth is shaken. Our foundation can't be on a thing that we do or a person that we know. It's got to be on the God who made us. Yeah? So the more we get in the Word, the more God reminds us that He has made us who we are. He has given us our value. He is why we're here, knowing Him and making Him known. So one of our teachers in the past, it was Dave Kinchin, who teaches high school guys. He calls this the elevator speech. What's your name, John? What do you do? Oh, I work over here. That's what we're all about nowadays. This is who I am. This is what I do. But we're not who we are because of what we do. We're who we are because of who God made us. So what I want you to do today is just concentrate on that verse and start praying that. Lord, I read this verse. What are you trying to say to me? Do I know who I am? Who do I think I am? Am I building it around something that I hope somebody else sees? Am I building it around a talent? Am I building it around, am I going to miss you and what you have for me because I'm focused on this little talent or this little world you've given me right now? I hope that's making sense to you this morning. Start asking God to show you. Lord, remind me who I am. You make me who I am. Let everything I can do and every relationship that comes in my life be something you've given to me, and let me treat it as a gift, but not who I am on the inside. So keep reading that verse, verse number 1, and then we'll start talking about verse number 2 tomorrow. I'm praying for you guys. Pray for everybody else that's reading James with us, and we'll see you tomorrow.